All right, so this is a great example of a stock that now has a history of false breakouts. This is a stock you can't trust. Once it's done this once, it's gonna do it again. You know, it just is I have a couple of rules of helping me avoid false breakouts, but one of them, and probably the most important one, is that if a stock has given some nasty false breakouts already today, I am going to be very cautious around it, trading it. So let's just look back at this stock just this morning. So you had NBTX even pre-market. And listen, guys, for what it's worth, I said this at, what time was it? And I'm not trying to, I told you so. I'm just to give you my perspective on it. You know, you guys do what's right by you. But I looked at it here at like about 9 o'clock. Actually, it was 8:40 as it was breaking through $4.50. And I said, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm not gonna trade this one. I don't trust it. Number one, it's kind of coming up to this 450 resistance. It broke 450 and flashed up to 470, but there was a topping tail candle. And then it comes back down. And when I saw that topping tail, first of all, I didn't get in for the break of 450 because I looked at it and I just thought, no, I don't know that I'm really into this. It's kind of grinding. It's not going straight up. The float is higher. It's a 34 million share float stock, right? So all of that gave me reason to pause and hesitate. So I didn't take that trade. And then when it flashed up to 470, and that was, let's see, it was right here, it had this topping tail. And I was like, no, see, I don't like that. It went to 470 on the ask for a second, and then it drops right back down. So I was like, no, I don't like that. It comes back up a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try to chase 10, 15 cent trades on this when I'm risking a 30-cent flush. I don't care about it. I don't like this kind of price action. So from that point forward, I ignored it. I traded other stocks, and you know, I'm green on the day. I can go over the BAOS trade in a second for those that missed it. But so, you know, whatever. But then it comes back up, NBTX. So now it's done one kind of false breakout. And then there's a second one right there. See how it does that trap? It pops up and it goes to 75 and then it flushes here down to 50, 46. It's a 30-cent false breakout. Okay, so now it's done it twice. And you could see that just by looking back at the chart. You know, you look back at the chart and you're like, okay, now I'm seeing the stock has some of these topping tails. It tends to like to do this. I guess you got a couple smaller ones here and here, not dramatic. Then you've got a bigger one here because it goes through the high of 480, flushes again. And then it comes back up here. Look at these topping tails, 1, 2, 3. It just cannot hold that level. It squeezes, pushes through, hits 550, but again, a topping tail. It drops back down. It's not holding these levels. So the chart is telling us this is a choppy stock. Now we've got resistance at the $0.50. It taps it again. So now you've got, this is, now for those that have a keen eye, you'll notice that this is what we would call, these are the devil horns right here. Okay. So right there is the devil horn. And I know this kind of looks actually like a little, like almost like a fox, like a kitty cat. Like those are its whiskers right there. But it's a sly fox. And this guy is here to take your money from you. All right? So don't give him your money. So now look what happens again. We come up and it does it a third time. Look at that flush. See? Old Foxy's laughing at you again. He got you here, and look at that rejection. And then even more frustrating, it comes all the way back up. And you know what some traders will do? And I've done this before. If I'm in heavy right here for the break of the $0.50, then when it flushes here, maybe I add a little bit. But if I'm already in heavy, I can't really average down that much because I'm already in with 10,000 or 20,000 shares. So what ends up happening is I press the sell button, I stop out, then I watch it come back up like this. I'm seeing red, I'm raging, and I'm like, you know what, screw this. That was a bear trap. And I buy it here, and then it does it to me a second time. So if that happened to you today, don't feel bad, it's happened to me too. But learn to recognize it and learn from it. So then it continues, you know, with that false breakout there, and then this is where we're at now. So would you trust it over 550? I personally would not. Now, if it goes over 550 and it does squeeze up to, you know, $6 or something, there, I could understand why you might feel like, oh man, finally it went. But when I look at the chart and I see that many topping tails, I see the history of false breakouts, to me, it's a stock where I can't manage my risk. So if I can't manage my risk, it doesn't matter how much it goes up, I can't trust it. So I can't feel bad about missing what could have been a winner on something where I couldn't have possibly managed risk. So now let's look at BAOS. So on BAOS, on this one first hit the scanners when it was squeezing up right here. So it went, I mean, this is a nice move. It went from $7 all the way up to a high of $10.35 right there. That was a nice move pre-market. It dips down, it comes back up at double tops. I saw it right there when it was squeezing up. I saw it hit the scanner and I thought, it doesn't have enough volume. You know, and for what it's worth, BAOS is a bit of a bounce off the low, right? And that's the same setup that I guess you have on top right now. TOP sold off yesterday and then today from 16 up to 24, a bounce off the low. So, you know, you get that big sell off and then you get a bounce back up. It's not always a big bounce, but this trading a bounce is very different from trading the front side of the move. When you're on the front side of the move, you can get huge moves because it's still pulling away. This is when it can get really exciting. The back side of the move, be cautious. You know, if you can catch a couple trades, that's great, but it is the back side of the move. Would be extraordinarily rare that this really gets up that high on the backside. And after a big drop like this, it's just a dead cat bounce. So anyway, so BAOS, so I was watching it and I didn't take the trades at the beginning. We had this kind of like move here, a little bit of chop. Girl, what's your problem? You wanna go outside? So we've got a little bit of chop right here. And then it dips down here, and I actually bought that dip. I got in at $9.44. Now the problem was the bid was about $9.15. So we had a bit of a spread on this stock. And that's why I only punched it with 1,000 shares. I was like, I don't know, we've got a bit of a spread. If I do 2,000 or 3,000, I'm gonna be down $1,000 just on the spread, right? And then if it drops 10 cents on the bid, I'm gonna be down 1,500. So I was thinking about how can I manage my risk, and I did that by reducing my share size a little bit. Sometimes I say if I can't take at least, you know, 5,000 or 6,000 shares, I shouldn't take any trades at all. But you know, but at the same time, this was just a small base hit, and I broke the ice. It was also my first trade of the day. So I'm in it at 9.44. It goes up to 10. It dips, and I added at 10. I added at $10 right there. Another 1,000 shares. Goes into a halt. Boom. Wow. Okay. Nice. And then we had the resumption. We had a dip right here, and then on resumption here, I added again and got a quick little pop here back up. I actually held all the way through here and finally stopped out right down here when it broke this level. So anyways, I got a little trade on that one. The trade was small size, wasn't, you know, anything to really write home about. But this one to me felt like a stock that had more potential than NBTX. The float's certainly lower. Top was bouncing, so I thought this one might bounce as well. So I just, you know, I gave it a stab, and it ended up, you know, being my one trade at the open. So, you know, now it's 10 a.m. and it's Friday, and I saw some of you guys posting some fantastic P&Ls. I saw one person post up 14,000 on the day, thanks to BAOS. A couple traders that did really well on top as well. So, you know, my words of wisdom are: if you had a green morning and it's Friday, go enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, and let's come back and do it again on Monday morning, right? Let's not push our luck. You know, listen, if we had some stocks that were on the front side of the move and that were really looking exciting, like we did last Friday, that's different. But right now, we're on a little bit of the backside of this big momentum we had earlier in the week. I'm sure there'll be something that moves later today. It's just a matter of, do you really want to stick around all day long to try to capture it? Or have you done enough already? Have you made enough already? Have you made enough? Have you done enough? Then enjoy it. Be grateful for it. Because when you're no longer grateful for what you have, that's when it is very easy to give back profit. And I'm just looking at the level 2 on BAOS as it just flushed through that level and is at the halt level down. And it's just a reminder of how quickly, it just dropped $1 a share, how quickly one can overstay their welcome. And then you're in the hole and then you're trying to dig out of it. And it's like, get in, get green, get out. That's you know, again, it's just my 2 cents. But, you know, I'm kind of the, right now, I sort of feel like the resident turtle in this community because I'm not throwing down big numbers right now, but I'm just trying to be consistent. And that seems to be working for me. I'm going to be going on a little bit of a road trip this summer. I'm trying to kind of think of my trucker handle. I was thinking I'd get like a CB radio and stuff. And I don't know. I'm not really sure. You know, I mean, I should have a good handle, but I don't know. I mean, originally I was thinking maybe like Skittles, you know, because I do like Skittles. You know, I was at Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a donut. I was like, oh, Sprinkles, Skittles, Sprinkles. But then those seemed maybe a little too, I was like, maybe I should get something like a little bit more, yeah, a little tougher, you know, like, yeah, like Big Cactus but, you know, Big Turtle, because that's kind of what I am right now, which is, you know, why I brought it up. Anyways, if you think of a good handle, I'm in the market for one. So that's where I'm at right now. Just finishing the week with a green day. Slow and steady wins the race. This is about consistency. I'm here. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, you know, I've just got to keep my head down, try to be consistent. Had a couple nice days in the last 30, in the last 90. Had a nicer day up there at 18,000. It's been a while since I, you know, broke 10,000 in one day, like a little over a month. So yeah, I'd love to come out of this sort of slow stretch with a $8,000 or $10,000, you know, day, but you know, you got to risk it to make that kind of money, and I'm not feeling too interested in taking a lot of risk right now. So that's it for me. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Those of you guys who are watching the classes, study up. I was talking a few minutes ago about just in terms of level 2 specifically, go into strategies and scaling, which is of course part of the Warrior Pro curriculum. You guys know that. So go into strategies and scaling, and then specifically I would study these classes in chapter 6 on level 2 and tape reading. And then what I would do is I would go into the live trading archives. There's a couple, I mean, there's some phenomenal live trading archives in here, but there's a few recently that I added. The Anatomy of the First Pullback, that was a really good one. This was a great case study on, these are just a couple of highlights. Like this was a really good one. This was a really good one. So, I mean, if you haven't already watched all of these live archives and you're in the red, then do yourself a favor, watch those live archives, and spend a little time this weekend studying up. All right, so that's it for me. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday morning. All right, take it easy, everyone.